here we are in the most beautiful part of Alexandria. And you'll see over here, this is the old city of Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great himself, and then made the capital of Egypt for the next few hundred years under the Greek rulers, when Alexandria blossomed to have 1 million inhabitants, possibly at one point the largest city in the world. And here, this street, this busy street, is called the Street of the Chamber of Commerce, because as you can see, there's a lot of commerce here, and presumably they need a chamber to get around and fix prices and stuff. El Khorva, El Togaria. But the nicest street is actually called El Nabi Daniel Street, Daniel the Prophet Street. Daniel is not mentioned in the Quran, and Daniel is only tangentially mentioned in one of the hadiths, but he does have early sources. But this is not the prophet Daniel. This is a man whom, despite the fact that according to Islam, Muhammad is the seal of the prophets, the last of the prophets, this is a man who lived some hundreds of years after Muhammad, who was a Jewish man from Syria. We don't know the details about him. They're somewhat legendary. We don't know if we can trust the original sources, but the sources came from Iraq and they spread all around the world. They came from Iraq and they gave great prestige to Egypt. Here, this street coming up, this whole street here, is the street of the prophet Daniel. The prophet Daniel was, according to this story, a Jew from Syria who was a monotheist who went around preaching and fighting the good fight, and eventually he came to Alexandria and he built it up wonderfully, and he is buried here. Now, you know what this street was called beforehand? It was called the Street of the Body. I would pronounce it wrong, but Hotos Somatos in Greek, the Street of the Body, because it was believed that it was here on this street that Alexander the Great actually was buried. Alexander's tomb has never been found, and he was brought here to Alexandria, so it's quite reasonable. But the street is called after a legendary Jewish individual who even was given the designation of prophet, and it's on this street that there is a great synagogue. That's why you see all that security, and it's why I might have to delete this footage, which is why I'll turn around this way so they don't think that I'm like totally talking only about them. But the street over there, I might even get arrested for a bit until they can contact the people inside who know me and stuff like that. The Egyptian government is tremendously protectful of Jewish sites, of Christian sites, and quadruply so of Jewish sites, even Jewish sites that aren't rebuilt. But over here, the Egyptian government spent $4 million to build up this shul, this ancient synagogue that's named after Elijah the prophet, Eliyahu Hanavi, and which is mentioned by Rabbi Ovadia Mibratanero, the person who wrote the commentary on the Mishnah, commonly known as the Bartanura. And then when Napoleon destroyed it, they rebuilt it again on the same spot. In any case, I'm gonna have to turn the camera off before walking into the street, because like I said, they're very cautious, and I appreciate their caution. But in any case, perhaps I'll get into the synagogue, even though it's a complicated process, and I could show you some more. Well, I wasn't able to get in today, a little bit late. They have very short hours. But this over here is the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful synagogue that we know was founded at least in 1354, but possibly even mentioned in the Talmud. To the right was the school used by the kids here in Alexandria, where the Egyptian government spent $4 million to beautify it up, and it really is beautiful on the inside. You can still see the nameplates of the people who were there, which is very interesting, because you can often tell where people come from by their last names. Anyhow, so that's that for now. So this here is currently a junior and high school? A high school. And this over here you can see Beit Sefer Shel Ha'eda HaYehudit. This was originally connected to the synagogue. This is the beautiful, beautiful synagogue from the outside. Here's the stone in honor of the remaking of the synagogue. It's interesting that the sign is in French. The Jews used to speak French here. The shul visited by the Bartanura. ובאו האויבים מארץ האשור והנידחים מארץ מצרים. ובאו האויבים מארץ האשור והנידחים מארץ מצרים. וישתחוו להשם בהר הקודש, וישתחוו להשם בהר הקודש, וישתחוו להשם בהר הקודש, וישתחוו להשם בהר הקודש בירושלים. ירושלים, 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 ירושלים. שיביסי השם לנגדי סומד, דע לפני אתה עומד לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. דידם ברם פם 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 פם, ברי בבה בבה בבם, ברים בבם בם 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 פם, bam bari bara baram, bari baram pam 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 pam, barim bim bam bam, dee da dum 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 dum, dee da 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 dum, bum ba dum bum ba ba da bum, bum ba bum bum bum. How many Torah scrolls are in there?
Well, the whole collection is like 67. The whole collection.
Let me ask you, do you think, like, you know there was ancient synagogues here? Here, I'll turn off the video. No. This is, she's awesome. I won't put you in the video if you don't want to. I'll cut this out. This is just for me.
No, I don't want to.
Anyway, let me just look at these things over here. Okay. Look at this. This one has Hebrew and English. Okay. Zaki, which is spelled in a way that doesn't look very Hebrew. Siag. Sayag. Right. Nah, he was a spy. He wasn't real.
All of them. Even you, maybe you are.
Zechariah Osmo. No, I am a spy, but nobody pays me for it.
I know that you are.
So maybe Turkish. Solomon y Français. Seemingly French. A lot of the Jews spoke French.
Yeah.
Freddie Mizrahi. Could be an American. M. Nakamuli. Samuel Gans, or Gani. Guido Musalam. Victor Smaga. Armand J. Cohen. Armand, that's French.
I'm going to take all the seats?
No, just a few. Eli J. Catterall. He converted because he was rich and he wanted to be among the rich people. Usher Horovitz. Oscar Horovitz. He's showing you he's legit, giving you his Hebrew. Ezra Horovitz. Eli Nachum. That's legit. That's a legit Jew name. There was a Rabbi Nachum here, you know.
Yes, famous.
Albert E. Ibo. Maurice Mawas. Charles Salma Robino. Maybe Italian. Yecheskel Farchi. That's definitely legit Arab Jew. Andre Mizrahi, Joseph Barquilon, Benjamin Matatia, Jacques Samuel, Moise Arar, just a second, Claude Francis, okay, Raymond E. Ben Mayor, Leon Sosa. Anyway, it is very neat that they have all the names originally of people who were here. Now, what? Yeah, I won't do that. I know you have to go. You can't leave me alone in here, huh? Because I might walk out with like one of the benches. Might walk out with one of the pillars. Okay, so give me a Hamsa Dakika to pray, and that's it. All right, so prayer does not have, of course, recording is private between me and the Lord, but it's beautiful that they have Sidurim. We'll try to choose an old one. But is this even a Sidur? No, it is not. Definitely not. Ma'an noira hamokem hazeh, shivisi Hashem lenekti sameh. Yerushalayim, 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 Ze Asher Hashem, Tzadikim Yavayu Vay, Ay Zichru Teiras Moshe, Mitzvah Shabbos Gerusa, Charusa Haleyay Mashvi, Kekala Ben Reise HaMeshubata, Tehayrim Yirashua, Vichavdua B'mamar Kol Asher Asa, V'chalelohim B'yayim Mashvi, Melachtai Asher Asa.